I want to start this video off with a full game spoiler warning. If you have not completed Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, I suggest that you come back to this video after you have done so. In this video, I'll be covering the current strategy for the free glitchless category of Lost in a Dark Dream. If you want more background on this guide series, I'll have a link in the description to the first video in the series where I talk more about the structure of this series. This video will be a bit different from most in this series, as I will be covering two different strategies. These strategies will be the Talent Boost strategy, which is used for Noponstone farming, as well as a high leaderboard position, and the Vital Force strategy, which introduces a 2% chance and is used in world record attempts. I'll also have other useful links for mechanics and other general information in the description, as well as a link to a Pastebin with the written version of the build and strategy that I'll be showing in this video. With that out of the way, let's get into the build. So the first of the two strategies that I'm going to be talking about here today is going to be the Talent Boost strategy. The party for the strategy is going to be Reyn, Dunban, Shulk, and the gear for Reyn is going to be the Atomic Driver with double attack, physical defense down, and talent boost, with his armor gems being 2 strength up gems, haste from the glory gauntlets, initial tension, and quick step. It doesn't matter if you have talent boost 5 gem, which I believe you get from a quest, or the talent boost 6 gem that you craft yourself. The damage you do will be the same and you'll get your talent art in the same amount of time. I personally run a double attack gem over weapon power just simply because you need to get at least 3 auto attacks off, and this makes you pretty likely to get at least 1 double attack off so that you don't have to do 3 individual auto attacks. You can run a weapon power gem here though and still be perfectly fine. This is just my preferred setup. For Dunban, we're going to be running the Wyvern Cutlass with weapon power, physical defense down, and double attack, as well as 2 strength up gems, haste, initial tension, and quick step. Dunban is mostly here just to inflict physical defense down and use Peerless, so we just have him outfitted to be able to inflict physical defense down and deal as much damage as possible in the process. Shulk is outfitted pretty similarly to Dunban. He's running the Monado 3 with physical defense down, weapon power, and double attack, as well as 2 strength up gems, haste from the glory gauntlets, aggro up from the Argos leggings, and quick step. And the reason why we're running the Argos leggings on Shulk is that we don't want Reyn to have the aggro, because the enemy we're going to be killing has physical defense from the front, and that can make it significantly harder to kill it. So we're going to actually want to have Reyn on its side or back. Because of this, we want someone else to have the aggro, and having Shulk with aggro up, as well as the aggro skill linked from Dunban, makes it so that he will often have the aggro instead of Reyn, which is what we want. For arts on Reyn, the only 3 you really need are Berserker, Magnum Charge, and Sword Drive, but I recommend having Shield Bash on just in case you need something to quickly finish off the Mammoth at the end of the, just in case it survives the Sword Drive. For Dunban, the only art that we really want him to use is Peerless, but as I've said in a couple of these guides, if you only have Peerless on him, he will often not want to use it. So I find that having the combination of Steel Strike, Gale Slash, Peerless, and Soaring Tempest works well for having him auto attack once and then use Peerless at the start of battle, which is what we want. And finally, Shulk's arts don't matter. I'm just running Air Slash on him. You can run whatever you want. We only care about Shulk using 1 auto attack and then he can just do whatever. For the skills, I'll go ahead and just scroll through them as I give a brief overview of what we are prioritizing. And as usual, we're going to be prioritizing quick step and damage. We're also going to want double attack linked to most characters, since we do want to be getting off double attacks. So I'll go ahead and just scroll through my skills, and I forgot to link a skill here. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and finish scrolling through my skills, and then yeah, you can copy them if you want. Also, because I just thought of it, something else to note is that I have both of the haste skills linked to Reyn from both Fiora's Swift Strike and Dunban's Charge Acceleration. You won't be getting these very often because they are pretty low activation rates each, but if you do get them, that is a nice benefit since we do have to auto attack a few times and it does save a bit of time. With all that out of the way though, let's go ahead and get into the video review section of this video. So in this section of the video, I'll be talking through one of my runs, which uses the Talent Boost strategy for this time attack. At the start of the time attack, you're basically just going to want to target the Mammoth, start moving forward, and then use Berserker. There's no whole lot to talk about for this strategy, so we'll kind of just go through it and talk about things as they come up. So go ahead and use Berserker instead of drawing a weapon. You can see I got a lucky haste proc here from one of my skill links. And so essentially what we're going to want to do next is we're going to want to work our way around the left side of the Mammoth as we start auto-attacking. But we're going to want to stay close enough to where we can get the Peerless buff from Dunban whenever he uses it. So we can go ahead and watch this. And pretty much while auto-attacking, you're going to be wanting to just mash on Magnum Charge, that use it as soon as you can, then click Sword Drive. I queued up Shield Bash, and the Sword Drive didn't quite kill the Mammoth, but Dunban and Shulk were able to clean it up pretty quickly to get a pretty decent time. So I'll go ahead and let's play, and as this finishes up, let's go ahead and move on to the discussion of the Vital Force strategy of this time attack. So the next build that we're going to be covering for this time attack is the Vital Force strategy. The builds are going to be pretty much the same, but I will still go over them just in case you skip to this section of the video. The party that we're going to be running is going to be Reyn, Dunban, Shulk, with the gear on Reyn being the Atomic Driver with Weapon Power, Physical Defense Down, and Attack Plus, 2 Strength Up Gems, Haste from the Glory Gauntlets, Initial Tension, and Quick Step. The reason why we switched off of double attack is that with Vital Force you only want to auto attack a single time with Reyn. So because of that, Weapon Power and Attack Plus are pretty much the best we can do for increasing our chances of inflicting physical defense down, and then increasing our damage to help us actually kill the Mammoth. Dunban's gear is exactly the same, the Wyvern Cutlass with Weapon Power, Physical Defense Down, and Double Attack, 2 Strength Up Gems, Haste from the Glory Gauntlets, Initial Tension, and Quick Step. Once again, Dunban's only real job during this time attack is going to be to inflict physical defense down and then use Peerless, and this is pretty much the best way to have him do that job while doing as much damage as possible. And finally for Shulk, we're going to be running the Monado 3 with Physical Defense Down, Weapon Power, and Double Attack, as well as 2 Strength Up Gems, Haste from the Glory Gauntlets, Aggro Up from the Argos Leggings, and Quick Step. Once again, the reason why we're running aggro up on Shulk is because we want someone who isn't Reyn to have the aggro, because the Mammoth has physical defense from the front, and thus we don't want to be having Reyn attack from the front, we want him to attack from the side or the back. Because of this, having Shulk with aggro up makes it so that he is able to pretty easily hold the aggro, so that Reyn will be able to get onto a different side of the enemy. Arts are the exact same. For Reyn, we're running Berserker, Magnum Charge, and Sword Drive. You once again do not need Shield Bash, but it is a nice thing to have just in case Sword Drive doesn't kill, to have a very quick art to clean up with. Dunban is running Steel Strike, Gale Slash, Peerless, and Soaring Tempest. Once again, Peerless is the only art that we actually want him to use, but he won't use it very often if it is his only art. And I find this combination of arts makes him use it at the start of battle with pretty good consistency. And once again, Shulk's arts don't matter, so I'm just running Air Slash. You can run whatever you want on Shulk. And we'll go ahead and go through the skills again. Skills are almost exactly the same as in the talent boost strategy, with the only difference coming up here, I'll talk about when we get to it, is on Reyn we're running Vital Force, which is a link from Fiora, which gives a 2% chance of filling your talent whenever you deal any damage. In our case, it's going to be from an auto attack. I'll go ahead and scroll through the other skills as I talk about that. But basically, this lets us get talent immediately off of a single auto attack, so we can instantly use Magnum Charge, and it saves about 2 seconds on the time attack. Of course, getting the haste procs from the Fiora and Dunban skills that we have linked could save a little more time from there, but overall, that is the reason why this strategy is used in World Record attempts. With that out of the way though, that's about it for the build, so let's go ahead and hop into the video review section of this video. In this section of the video, I'll be talking to my current PB for Lost in a Dark Dream as of the time of recording this video. The strategy for this is going to be pretty similar to the talent boost strategy, except it's going to be going a little bit faster. So just like last time, we're going to want to start walking towards the Mammoth and use Berserker instead of drawing our weapon at the start of the battle. And pretty much immediately we're going to want to walk around to the left side of it so that whenever our auto attack goes off, we will already be in position. So basically the same thing, but just a little bit better lines and a little bit faster. So you can see I made sure to start moving a little bit to this side. Whenever I used Berserker, you can see here I moved to the side. We can go ahead and back up to see that again. So as the auto attack goes off, I get full talent and Magnum Charge becomes available. So just click it, use Sword Drive, get the boost from Peerless from Dunban, and because I was able to get all the physical defense down, I was able to one-shot the Mammoth. So very short time attack, very simple strategy, but pretty low chances of actually having everything work out. I'm going to go ahead and let this pause as I do the outro, but I do hope that you found this information useful and that this helped if you were looking for either a quick way to farm Noponstone or if for some reason you want to push for the record on this time attack. With all that out of the way though, I do hope that you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. See ya!